The Mekong River is the veritable backbone of the Asian peninsula. From the heights of the Himalayas to the China Sea, it flows for more than 4,200 kilometers, irrigating 6 countries in a region which is among the most sensitive to the effects of climate change. The increasing number of typhoons, droughts and floods could devastate the lives of the 70 million people who depend directly on the river. In the coming years, many of them could lose their homes, their land and their jobs. They could face starvation or be plunged into extreme poverty and forced into exile. These are among the poorest people on the planet and the least responsible for climate change. But it's they who, paradoxically, will suffer its most dramatic effects. This is why the EU is involved in the fight against climate change around the world, to help developing countries combat the phenomenon and protect their population from its devastating effects. An example from Cambodia. This remote village on the banks of the Mekong lives entirely on the resources of its natural surroundings. Recently it was given a mission: patrol the forest to detect the theft of trees. The Forestry Administration has given villagers areas of forest to manage. There's one condition: they must commit to managing it sustainably and never to fell trees without permission. In return, they can freely gather all non-timber forest products. The government's idea is that the more villagers benefit from these smaller products, the more interest they'll have in protecting the forest. The European Union supports this process by funding an NGOs project to help people in rural areas create these forest communities. It's one way to reconcile the fight against poverty and the protection of the forest and its role as a climate regulator. Off now to the Mekong Delta in Vietnam. Here, flooding is an increasing threat because of climate change. Some communities live below the level of the river, and people must be made aware of the danger. This is the school at Long Toi. It's the end of the academic year, and as schools do everywhere, they're having a party. But here, the beginning of the holiday coincides with the arrival of the monsoon rainstorms. So they take this opportunity to remind children of things which one day could save their lives. Every game, every competition is an excuse to teach children the rules to follow when there's a typhoon or a flood. Teaching people the right reflexes if a climate catastrophe occurs saves lives. This is why ECHO, the humanitarian arm of the European Commission, has launched a special program to support actions like this. No matter whether it's education, training, providing emergency equipment, or reinforcing buildings to make them stronger, adaptation to climate change is possible, even in the most vulnerable regions. It's based on sometimes simple measures, but its main goal is to raise people's awareness and get them mobilized.